right, that's it.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to today's sales training. Glad to have everyone on. Today, we will be talking about how Antonio T. Smith Jr. sells himself without selling himself. This is what we're going to talk about today. How Antonio T. Smith Jr. sells himself without selling himself, and he actually does it. And this is what you want you and your company to do as well. You want to sell yourself, sell your company without actually selling your company. And I'm going to explain. The way that Antonio does this, he sells himself without selling himself by giving people tons and tons and tons of value. This is how he does it. When you give away tons of value, this is how you actually sell yourself without ever having to say, hey, buy from me, okay? Adonia, did you have something you would like to say?
No, I'm good. Thank you. Good morning.
Okay. Good morning. I saw your mic was unmuted. All right, not a problem. All right. Now, this is what Antonio does. He puts out tons of value. And the way he does that is he puts out lots of content. That's one of the ways. He puts out lots of content. I was on YouTube and watching one of Gary Vaynerchuk's videos. He does a show called The Daily V. And in this particular one, the title of it was The Best Sales Strategy to Increase Sales. And as I'm looking at it, you know, everyone does show notes. And I looked at his show notes and he said, the best sales strategy to get more customers and increase sales for your company is to focus on branding so that your customers actually come to you. Put out so much content to the point where your brand is so established in whatever niche or field it focuses on that people just want to be associated with it in any way possible, and they are trying to buy from you. Does that not sound like Antonio T. Smith Jr.? This is absolutely what he does. I'm gonna break that down. The best sales strategy to get more customers and increase sales for your company is to focus on branding so that your customers actually come to you. Antonio says it almost every morning on the daily meeting. 3 words: brand over sales. He does it. He says it all the time, brand over sales. Because when you build your brand over, you know, the sales, you focus on your brand, customers will come to you and say, oh, you know what? I like that guy. You know what? I like her and I like her company. I like his company and I like what they do. I like them. I like their brand. And so I just want to be associated with that, so I want to buy from them. And Antonio does that. Hey, I'm willing to bet that everybody on here has at least one time bought something from Amazon. It's the brand, okay? My grandmother is 99, and when she sends me to the grocery store with a list, she doesn't just say, get me some butter. No, it's get me some Country Crock butter. Okay, Grandma, I got you. It's not just give me a loaf of bread. No, get me Mrs. Bear's bread. Grandma I know every brand Grandma wants when she sends me to the store, because they've built something with her to where all she wants is to buy from that specific brand. And that's what you want to do. That's what Antonio does. That's one of the ways that he gives tons of value. When he puts out his content, he's focusing on branding. The other part says, put out so much content to the point where your brand is so established in whatever niche or field it focuses on that people just want to be associated with it in any way possible, and they are trying to buy from you. Another example, we have our One Business Away call that we do with a few people, and it was Sunday, I believe. Sunday. Antonio and Deanna were teaching, and then all of a sudden, Jerron comes out and asks a question to Antonio about what does he feel about credit. We weren't talking about credit that day. We were not. But Antonio's brand is so up there, and he has developed his brand so much. Doesn't matter what niche or field you talked about. And I knew Jerron was going to ask, because as I've been training Jerron, he's part of the sales team, And I've been training him, and we were role playing one day, and he asked me that question, and I said, you know what? And I gave him my thoughts because I remember what Antonio taught me about credit. And I said, you know what? Ask that question on the One Business Away call. I don't care what we're talking about. Ask him that question because he's going to answer you. And that's why he did it. So his brand is so much that he knew, okay, she knows what she's talking about. So let me go ahead and ask Antonio because she's been with him. So she understands that whatever. Huh?
Did he ask it?
Remember he asked, what were your thoughts on credit? And you say, do you want my answer or do you want the ATS answer? And he said, give me both.
Oh, I answered the crap out of that question too.
You did.
I remember.
Huh. You did.
Yeah, you made me look good just now. Keep going. Keep talking.
Okay. So, also, everybody on here has seen at least one piece of Antonio's content. So if I were to ask all of you what your favorite piece of content from Antonio is, you either know right off the bat, or you have to think because you'll say, man, he does so much. Wait a minute, and I like so much of it. Let me think. Because I'm telling you, I had to stop and think this morning. One of my favorite pieces of content that he does is the Secret to Success Law of Attraction podcast. I love that, because it speaks to me every time I listen to it. But it's so much other stuff because he has. When I talk to people about becoming a member of the Business University, I let them know it doesn't matter what industry you're in, doesn't matter what field you're in. You got questions, he can help you. You're a massage therapist, he can help you. You're in the real estate, he can help you. You're in the circuses, he can help you. It doesn't matter because he knows business because he has a mind for business and a heart for people. And so he's built his brand to where if you want to dominate in whatever industry you're in and you come to him, he can help you. Mr. Smith, do you have anything you would like to say thus far?
Oh, it's 50 billion things here. It's 50 billion things here. Let's back up a little bit. For one, I only talk about what I know. Hey, let's just clear that up. That's the only thing I want to clear up. Everything else, I only talk about what I know. I don't talk about nothing else. I don't know nothing about shoes. I don't know nothing about fashion. You better be glad I take baths, right? I just, I'll be too busy sometimes, at least in my head, right? You just be glad my hygiene is on point. My grandmother used to embarrass me. I'd get out the shower and she'd rub my ankles. Get back in there, boy, dirt coming off your ankles, right? You know what I'm saying? All that stuff. Anywho, why is a very important question here because I just don't want to be I'm just more focused on how I made money and not how much I made. That's a very powerful, beautiful, tweetable statement, but it's real though. It's real. It's real. When you think about, at the end of the day, I don't know if I ever told you the story, but it was just, I think I have, but I'll tell it again because it's relevant here. I had this teacher. 2012 was a defining year in my life. I really freaking hated 2012. I just hated it, Jerome. I know, hate's not a word. I hated it. Hated every bit of it. You understand? I super hated it. I ain't got no positive words for it. Not then, not now. Okay? I hated it. I super duper uber hated it. And it was this teacher that took this prayer request in 2012, Dr. Felicie Sogway, one of the world's foremost Old Testament scholars in the world. And he would let this girl pray over and over and over and over and over and over. And she would use these prayers to take time from everyone else and just, she was one, y'all ever met one of those people that are always in the hospital that want to be sick because it's the only way they can get attention? You know what I'm talking about? Like, I'm not trying to judge. I'm just, have you ever met one of these people? Well, she was one of those people, hybrid. And she would totally ruin the class, not from her problems. She wasn't sensitive enough. This is a 50-minute class. She's taking 30 minutes. And this professor would literally just, and she wouldn't let anybody else get no prayer request in too. Right? Somebody dying, cancer. You can't even get a prayer request. This professor would just smile, listen, actively listen the whole way through, Dr. Felicie Sogway, and then teach. and somehow never got behind. And if he missed something, it wouldn't be on the exam or the, whatever it was. Boom. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. And one day I'm thinking about, lady, I'm paying $725 a semester hour. Facts. That's literally how much it costs at the school I went to per semester hour. So a 3-hour course takes 725 times 3. That's expensive. I'm paying $40,000 a school year or something like that out of my own pocket. And you know me, I'm thinking, Pam Norris, you got me messed up. God dog it. Because my money. Because I've got the brains, talent. I don't have the character back then. I didn't have the character I have now. And I go to the teacher and I'm like, hey, man, hey, why you do that? And he listened to me and he just said, she is the most important thing I've done all day. Like this. And at that moment, God used his fist to punch me in the face. Bam! I shut up and let that girl talk. Right? This is one of those things. I never forgot that, and I never forgot that spirit. And it's relevant here. People are the most important thing I've done every day. I respond to every message, no matter how long it takes. I do. So when I'm on stage, although I am fantastic in selling from the stage, you're probably not going to meet somebody to do it better than me. Right? I am. I just am. I'll take 5 minutes to do that. It would have nothing to do with I would tie it into the keynote. The mere fact that y'all have never heard me repeat a keynote says everything that I'm talking about. I've never invited you to a conference and you heard the same thing I just talked about. Surely somebody may ask a question that you know about, but you're never going to hear me repeat keynotes. You're just not. Because too many people follow me for me not to add value every single time they show up in my life. So that's why. I mean, it's unfair to say, how does Antonio sell himself without selling himself? Technically, I guess I am, and I am, but that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make you the most important thing I've done all day. Period. Like just from the last meeting, I want Susan to strongly know that she is way too important to me not to honor her simple request. Simple. I ain't like, forget that. I'm gonna do what she needs and what wants, At the same time, I want to merge that with what Jerry wants. So it's simple. If you listen to what I actually said at the very end, dude, I'm gonna just bend the company around you. It's what I said. That's what I said. So I don't know what it looked like. We gonna talk. You gonna tell me what it looked like. Allow me a few bumps, and we gonna build that. It's basically what I said. So in essence, Grace, that is how you sell without selling yourself, right? That's not what I'm trying to do, though. It's not, because if you do that without being genuine, and people aren't stupid. Come on. People got BS radars that spot that stuff 50 miles away, especially if you grew up in the church or something. If you grew up in the church, you know the difference between giftedness and anointedness. Help me, somebody. Those are two different things. Just because you got the gift don't mean you got the heart. Come on now. Or the power. Those are two different things. And Pam Norris, am I lying there? Just because you got the gift don't mean you got the power. That don't mean you got the power. Those are two different things. Because you're saying all the right stuff, but ain't nobody moved. Yeah. That's because you shouldn't be saying the stuff in the first place. I know Denise knows. That's why Denise said, I'm not your pastor, but I got a word. And people keep showing back up for the word because she's got the oil, is what they would say in her circles. Anyway. And there's one more thing you brought up in there. Content. That's what I wanted. Content. So let's say you don't have any content. Mother Teresa didn't have content, right? Mother Teresa wasn't vlogging. Is that fair? Am Is that right?
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay, all right. I think that's fair. Mahatma Gandhi was not going, hey, non-violent, let's roll. Right, no, it's not what he's doing. No, it's not what my man was doing. It's not, worried about Twitter followers, okay? It's not. It's as facetious and condescending as it sounds. It's the truth, though. It is the truth. None of these things, the Mother Teresa, Muhammad Gandhi, they didn't have content. So what do you have? While Grace said content, there's another form of content. You. That's what they used. They showed up every day. Seriously. They showed up every single day. I want you to think about the most powerful person in your life. And I don't mean power as, so there's two different forms of power. I'm going to use some. This is why English doesn't work in these cases. Who speaks Spanish? Monica's here? No, she's not. Okay. Let's see. There's let me use Greek. I can't remember the two words in Spanish right now. I'm going to use Greek. You have dunamis, and then you have exousia. Okay? Dunamis is power. It's exactly what you think. It is dynamite. That's the dynamite literally, kind of comes from that, okay? Dunamis. Don't worry about the spelling. I'm transliterating it. Transliteration just means you take the equivalent alphabet into the language. So I'm just transliterating. That's all. Dunamis is what it is. It just means like a rocket is dunamis power. It's real, right? Just power. Exousia is like the Pope. It's a different kind of power. It's not loud, right? The Pope shows up and people listen. It's not loud. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when I say who has the most power in your life, I'm talking about Pope power. And of course, I don't think anyone here is Catholic, but you may have Catholic roots. I'm not Catholic. But I do want you to receive what I'm saying. I don't want you to say who has the most power in your life, like, you're going to do what I say, Tony. No, not that power. That's dunamis power. I'm talking about the authority. Their very presence stops arguments. They don't have to talk. When you need money, everyone knows, go over there. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Their presence. So maybe you're in India and you got patriarchs. Maybe that patriarch has dunamis power, the loud power, but his wife, right, is the only one that can get to his ear, right? That's exousia. That is different power. That's different power. So my question to you is, who has that exousia? Who has that authority power that they show up and, I don't know, even Donald Trump say, yes, ma'am, right? That thing right there. Who has that power? That was a perfect example. Thank you. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to be cultural, trying to cross cultures around here, right? Yeah. If you travel the world, you learn a few things, okay? Who has that power? I want all of you to think of that person. Get ready to go, Grace, because I'm done with the points. All of you think about that person that in your life, you just can't say nothing bad about this. You're nonviolent, but you will fight somebody for trying to say something bad about that person. Because that person never did nothing known to nobody, and everybody know it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Everybody's got one. Everybody's got one. Everybody's got one. Everybody's got one. My grandmother died for her church. Bless her soul. She printed them church programs for her own ink, her own HP computer. That church wouldn't be able to run without her tithes, right? The pastor got all the credit, but the exousia power was the number one tithe payer member in the church was running that church, right? So, some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about.
Your time is valuable. Don't spend it typing the same thing over and over and over again. Use abbreviations to expand simple things, like your phone number or address, or more complex things like forms with fill-in fields for email and message replies. TextExpander, it works on all your computers, so you can expand snippets when you're in the office or working from home. Also, TextExpander hosts interesting webinars every month, so you can sign up for TextExpander Beginner, Advanced, and Team webinars to learn more about boosting your productivity. And you can find all of the webinars at textexpander.com/webinar. The best thing is TextExpander is also available for Mac OS, Windows, Chrome, iPhone, and iPad. And guess what else? Show listeners get 20% off their first year. So what you can do is you can visit textexpander.com/podcast to learn more about TextExpander. I actually use it myself when I have to fill in something or put in my name, phone number, email address, all of that for when I'm responding to text messages or emails. I also use it for the paragraphs I use every single time when sending out information for Antonio. I just use TextExpander, type in a couple of abbreviations, and boom, it's already in the body of where I need it to go. You definitely should use TextExpander, and then their blog gives you an extreme amount of abundance of information as well. So go in textexpander.com/podcast and learn more about TextExpander. Thank you.
Think about that person. They don't have content. They got character. Real talk. Whoever you just thought about, they're probably not in the ATS Business University learning how to do 6-second videos. Seriously, they're probably not blogging about the Internet of Things and 5G. If they just got, and when they get to Facebook, you're gonna be shocked they on Facebook or something like that. You know what I'm talking about. You know how this is. It could be your nana who's 5'2", but she still control that whole family with her grace. Woo! That gave me some goosebumps because I'm thinking about somebody in particular, right? But just think about that. That person doesn't have content. So when Grace she's right. Boom, boom. When Gary Vee is right, put out content. But that was us. That was me and Gary Vee talking about in the context of social media, right? Or personal brand. But you can have a personal brand without content. Your very presence. Some of y'all, you focus on the wrong power, and it's okay. It's perfectly okay. You don't know it, or maybe you do know it, but I'll introduce it to you right now. There's a whole belief that says at some point you're going to continue to ascend, and at some point you have to choose. Before you ascend out of here, you're going to choose between service of others and service of self. You have to choose. You have to choose. In my service, we call that, you're not getting the fourth density until you make that choice. Okay? But it's got this different story for now. Okay? We're doing the law of attraction class. It's not doing that. Some of you right now, or and there's nothing wrong with that. Because the next place you go is all love. It's just going to be all love to self or all love to others. I have clearly chosen love to others. Clearly. It's I don't even need to say that out loud. My whole body of work says that. Service to others. Some of you have chosen service to self. Clearly, you're all about you, and nothing wrong with that either. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with either, as much as you want to make something wrong with Donald Trump. He is creating the most perfect reality for himself, and you don't get to stand in judgment of that. Sorry, but it's still facts. Yes, that was hard coming from a young black man. No, I'm not Republican, right? I'm not. It doesn't stop the fact that it's facts. It doesn't. I don't get to stand in judgment of this brother, nor does he get to stand in judgment of me. When he stands in judgment of me, that's his harvest. That's not mine. That's his harvest. It's not my harvest. It's not mine. Content doesn't have to be content. Some of the best content producers in the world, Martin Luther King, it wasn't his speeches. It wasn't his speeches that changed the world. It wasn't. It was the fact there's some woke stuff that they're not for the light. They're not for the like this. Okay, y'all are not for the like this at all. It was the fact that he got assassinated. He did. And 110 cities across the world, America, rioted. And then they passed the Civil Rights Act. That's what happened. Ain't nobody listened to his speeches no different than they listen to Jesus' speeches. You want to know how Jesus changed the world? He died. You want to know how Martin Luther King changed the world? He died. Mahatma Gandhi died. This is what it is. We only listen to people when they're dead. Content. We don't listen to people while they're living. We don't. No one wanted to root for Kobe until he retired. 20 years. This is the American example now. His 20th year, people like me was like, man, I'm going to miss Kobe. In the whole 19 years, I'm like, get Kobe. Right? It's the truth. I loved rooting against him. It was fun. It was fun. Don't confuse content with character. Grace is going to teach you a lot. Now, I'm going to stop talking here briefly so she can go back with her script. But please know, when I get on stage or on camera, it's my character that's far louder than my content. Please know. That's the only reason this works. If you're not genuine, it's just not going to work. It's not. It's not going to work. Go ahead, Grace. Keep talking. I'm putting you in my memory file that you can keep talking.
Yes. Thank you. Great segue. Great segue. Because the next thing of how Antonio gives out tons of value, he genuinely speaks out on world issues to help encourage and help heal people. I don't care what it is. And Jerome, he's trying to steal my thunder, okay? So he wants to talk about Kobe and everything. That's the next on my list. So when I'm giving examples. So when Kobe's death occurred, he spoke out about it and he was transparent because he always tells the story of how at 6 he became homeless, and so really he didn't have any parents, and because he really didn't have that father figure, I remember him saying, he went live and he said, I looked to Kobe as a father figure because when I really got into basketball, I was into sports, and when I got into basketball, I looked at Kobe because he was one of the greatest, and I looked at him like a father figure, and he really spoke out about Kobe's death.
Yeah,
and how
which is weird in itself because Kobe's just 2 years older than me. I'll just tell you how my mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll just tell you how my mind. But anyway, keep going.
And then also, COVID-19. He's been speaking about COVID-19, but not only has he been Nostradamus Tony on COVID-19, but he's also been there to help encourage people through COVID-19. If you notice, he said, hey, in response to everything that's going on, just because you lost your job doesn't mean you have to lose your dreams and goals. I'm waiving my fee, and it's no charge to you. It's 100% free. You can become a member of the APS Business University and continue to reach and go and accomplish your dreams and goals. So that's what we should do as well. Another example. It's recent, but it's been going on for a long time. But the recent killings of Black males here, that's been going on, that we've been hearing about,
Forever.
It's forever.
Forever. Thank
forever.
you. Thank you.
Forever.
Thank you. Keep going.
Forever. In particular, Mr. George Floyd, other gentlemen, other Black ladies as well. But he's been speaking out about that. And I'm telling you, he even giving it to the world, just letting them know, letting them know, hey, this isn't right. This is what should be done. This is my transparency about it. I have sons. I'm a Black male. I'm concerned for them. This is what, and he's just speaking on it. But I'm telling you genuinely, and none of that, he's saying, you know what? I do not appreciate, I'm looking for something real quick, and I don't have it here, but it's not close by. But I do not appreciate everything that's going on. The killing of Black males. I'm a Black male, and this. Hey, by the way, get Richest man in the trash can. No, he won't do that. He's not doing that. That is the most insensitive thing to do ever. You know how you all could solve that problem? Get my book. So happy it's so great, but no. So happy and great, but no, you don't do that. If he genuinely speaks out about
Wait a minute, God dog. I would never, ever do that. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, you made my head hurt with that. No. Proof when Brad, my very good friend, was like, man, talk about your book. Wait, man, we talking about, oh my God, no, Jerome, put it away. Talk about your book. No, I'm coming here to talk about Conquer the Crisis. I don't talk about the book. I don't talk about the book. So he said, this takes 5 minutes. I say, well, I'll tell you what, I'll give you 4 of those back. And I slickly talked about the book for 15 seconds. Right? No, I don't know. I don't want to take 5 minutes to self-promote when at that time 6 million people just lost their job, right? Why would I do that? This doesn't make any sense. Why? This doesn't make any sense. Just one thing to say about that. I'm a warrior. I'm a borrow from Craig Johnson, Pastor Craig Johnson, with respect. He wrote a book called Lead Vertically, and it was about Joel Osteen. And, it had a whole chapter about Joel Osteen, inspired by Joel Osteen. It has some content, but the book is not about Joel Osteen. With respect to his fantastic book. It's about leading. It's about, he says it as in there's good leadership and then there's God leadership, right, is what he was saying. That's the premise of that book. Now, here's what's important. He describes Joel Osteen, and he says he has the will of a warrior, heart of a child. That pretty much accurately describes me. I'm a freaking warrior. Yes, I'm speaking out on it. Actually, I could end pretty much all the debate if you just give me a microphone, put me on CNN. I can take you and they say, Mr. Smith, you got 1 minute to prove to us how there's a problem in this country. And I'll say, well, I'll give you 50 of those seconds back. When is the last time you saw a white person killed on live video on social media? Thank you. Right? And kill that right there, that quick. We clearly have a problem, right? But moving that aside, if a white woman is being raped in an alley by 4 people and they got guns, I'm dying that day. Period, point blank. I don't know how to let injustice happen right in front of me. I don't give a nothing about that lady being white, right? No, that is a woman. You would not do this in front of me. Somebody got to die. Now, if I'm dying, I'm taking a few of y'all with me for sure. But she living today, because it's not going down like that. I'm not telling you I'm brave. I'm just one of the fools that go serve their country. You're just one of those guys, right? You're just one of those idiots that go serve their country and think that my life is not mine. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not going to go, that's a white woman being raped. No, we're getting killed in the streets. What the hell? No, I don't do that. That doesn't make no sense. It doesn't make no sense at all, no. So it's not, I speak on injustice, period. Now, it just so happens to be one injustice, right, is dear to at home because I can relate to it, obviously. But thank you, Jared. I'm telling you, I'm dying that day, period, point blank. I am dying that day. I am. I'm not fit to sit up here and let someone die and I could have did something about it. We dying together, or I'm dying, you living. But I would never be able to live with myself knowing that you died because I was a coward. I don't have that in me. It's not in me. Not in me. So yeah, I ain't finna get on no doggone conference and go, what do you mean? No. No. Even when I teach y'all how to sell from the stage, I tell you I take 5 minutes at the end. I tell you take 5 minutes at the end. Now, I could do it in 5 minutes, but I'm not gonna make my whole. Why is your keynote about your book? There's a time to do that. There is a great time to make a whole keynote about your book. It's a webinar, overtly. That means openly about your book. I am going to literally, as a matter of fact, in the leadership plan, So Happy and Grateful's in there, I didn't even want to put that in there. They were like, no, you got to put that in there because it helped. I was like, but fine, go ahead. But I'm not talking. I'm not talking in that class. Get out of here. Make sure, God dog it, your injustices you speak upon, they got to be real to you. Period. And you can speak on injustice anyway. You can do that with comedy. Like, different people. Comedians do it differently. Serious people do it differently. I'm a freaking warrior, so I'm obviously going to do it differently. Anyway, keep going, Grace.
Okay. Thank you, sir. All right. The next way that Antonio sells himself without actually selling himself with the tons of value, he's a master at Q&A. Master at Q&A. Now, as you all know, all of his content is fantastic, top of the line. You're not going to get any better anywhere else. You really want to get Antonio in his element? Start a Q&A session with him. You right up his alley, okay? Start a Q&A session. And if you notice, when he's giving a keynote, before the keynote even starts, he'll ask, you know what? Let's start a Q&A session. Any questions you have, I'm ready and willing to answer them. And then he tailors his keynote to the Q&A session. He does it all the time. Because he wants to make sure that the people get the absolute value that they came there for, not the keynote that he wants to give. And I'm telling you, he'll write a keynote down. But then when the Q&A goes one way, okay, he processes stuff faster than I've ever seen. So he can process, okay, yeah, I wrote this, but they're asking these questions, so I can tailor it like this. Tailor it toward the people. So he's a master at Q&A. Best example I can give, because I was there to witness it. We were in Florida. I can't remember if it was 2017 or 2018, Antonio, but breakout session. He had his own breakout session. And I know he had a keynote prepared because he always has a keynote prepared. But he said, you know what? We're just going to have Q&A. Y'all just ask me any type of questions for your business that you want. Be selfish. Ask questions about your business, and I'm going to answer them. You know how I know?
Okay.
You know how I know? Because Jerome was there. Jerome was there, and he could attest. So you see, he's shaking his head. He is shaking his head. And I'm telling you, people were genuinely helped that day. And I'm telling you, he and Tempest came in there looking like money. That wasn't his agenda. That wasn't his agenda. He just wanted to genuinely help people. That's why he had the Q&A session. And it so happened that he started a business university. You know how he said take the last 5 minutes? That's what he did. He just casually put that in there, last 5 minutes. Listen, have a business university, really want to help people, either you who want to start a business or those of you who have a business and want to elevate it, take it to the next level. this is, you know, this is what we do. And for this much, we can give you all the help that you need. I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna just tell y'all, we cleaned up that day. It was a nice amount. It was a nice amount of people who decided to get started with the business university that day. But it's all because he was so genuine in his Q&A. He answered every single question. The breakout session went over because he had 2 of them and he had to stay on time. But so many people was asking questions and wanted to stay and ask questions. So it's just who he is. It's just who he is.
It proves everything you're talking. No. Just real quick. It proves everything you're talking about because I had a 63-point script. I still remember it. Actually, I think I wound up recording I ended up making, since I never did the keynote, I made it a class in the business university called Becoming a Personal Brand. That's what I actually wound up doing.
Is that one?
Yeah, I don't think anyone knows that's what that was.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's what I was going to teach people how to become a personal brand, but that wasn't the name of it. I forget what the name of it was, but I renamed it and then retaught it inside the business university a couple of months later. So actually like 6 or 7 months later. Only reason I did that is because y'all ever been somewhere as a collective and somehow everyone was on the same page thinking, right? Like everyone felt the same way, especially when something like you feel like we did not get promised this. This is not what we paid for. Have you ever felt, like the whole collective said, this is not what we paid for. No. Okay, all right then, good. And you feel that. So I fooled around, and what did I do? Like I always do. Who's military? Who's ex-military? All right, so I got Jerome. All right, so Jerome understands this here. In the military, you got to be 15 minutes. Jerome, when am I late? Watch this here. You got to. When am I late, Jerome?
You got to be there before the time to be on. If you're 15 minutes early, you're good. If you walk up there a minute before the time, you late. You late. Gotta be
on time is 15 minutes prior.
Yeah, you gotta be. Man.
14 minutes prior is late. This is the military. That's how you do the answer. But when you a good soldier, you 15 minutes early for the 15 minutes early. So what do? I showed up to my room 45 minutes early. I did. I showed up to my room 45 minutes early. Not the room, the conference room to do the keynote, 45 minutes early. And somebody walked in there, and I'm not, I gotta be respectful here. I overheard talking like, man, we just keep hearing the same thing as yesterday. I'm overhearing that. So I walk in, and I go, well, hey. So tell me, I hear that, so I just use it, but tell me about your experience. Got it. That's all I needed. I don't need nothing else. Jerry. I got it. So when the next people walk in, hey, tell me about, what's going on. I polled like 4 people, and I knew right then and there I should probably not do my presentation. Not that my presentation had nothing to do with the same information. I just knew if I wanted to add the most value possible, I needed them to drive the presentation. It's really common sense. If you want to feel like, man, I learned something, I should probably let you ask a question so you could get that one thing that you needed. And so the whole room, and it was like 300 people in the room, it was a whole room, all left was saying, got my question answered. And I came out like a champion, and I almost made 6 figures. Anyway, and he was supposed to hit a dollar amount on that answer, but keep going though, Grace. Keep going.
Okay. The next way that I have where Antonio gives tons of value, selling himself without actually selling himself. He genuinely helps people. When he sees something is needed for someone's business, their life, their career, and he can help. He always says, if it's in my gift, he does. He jumps right on it. Case in point, there was an organization, and he noticed that something was needed, and if that thing got done, it would skyrocket them to the next level. And so he went to the head honcho, went to the head person and said, hey, you know, I noticed that boom, boom, this, that, and this is needed. And I can help you if you like. If you would like to help, if you'd like me to help you, I'm willing to do that. He did not say, hey, you know, I can help you with this for 50 grand. You know, I can do it for you. No, he just said, hey, if you would like me to do this, I can help you, and this is how I get it done. And then he walked off. And then, you know, the head honcho ended up calling him, and he did what he said he was going to do. Didn't ask for anything, didn't ask for money, didn't tell him, hey, I want this, no. Now, head honcho may have offered, and Antonio's no fool, and he don't block blessings, but he went in genuinely saying, hey, you know, I really want to do this. And I have my buddy is on the line, and he told me he would be here. And I said, buddy, I need you to tell him the story of how you met this gentleman. So my buddy, Mr. Jerome, Baltimore's own, he'll tell you how he met Mr. Antonio T. Smith Jr. Go ahead, sir.
Oh, how I met Antonio. I went down to Florida to get Les Brown to do the foreword to my book. That was my goal, that was my objective, that was my purpose. So when I got there, that's what I was totally focused on. Now, for those meetings, and if any of you go to them, they'll have a VIP session. Well, I didn't pay for the VIP session. So because I didn't, they had breakout sessions. That's where I ran into Antonio, doing the breakout session. But what was interesting was, I came into his session late. So when I got there, I didn't get the beginning where he was talking about, this is what I'm going to do, boom, boom, boom. But the stuff I heard messed me up. Like, that makes a lot of sense. Wait a minute. He knows what he's talking about. So I'm sitting there going, wow. And then in the end, when he said, hey, we're starting this university, because you came to see Les Brown, we're going to give you a 90% discount. I said, hello. So I turned around. I don't know if it was Grace or whoever. And I says, I'm going to sign. I said, I don't know what I'm signing up for. Here's my credit card. Gave them the credit card. They signed me up. Didn't think nothing about that. Went on about my business. Stayed that night for something that Les Brown had. The next day, and this is the part that got me, folks. The next day, me and Law, and I think Law's on the line, or he was on the other call. He and I were talking, and he picked up the phone and called him. And I says, how in the world Law got his phone number? Blah, blah, blah. He came down here with me. He came from New York. I came from Baltimore. How he got this guy's phone number? Man, I need to be sticking with Law. While me and Law were there waiting in the lobby, Antonio walks up to me. And I see him and I go, hey, Antonio. He said, how you doing, Jerome? And I say, fine. I said, I heard some good things about you. He said, I heard some good things about you. I said, okay. And then he asked me a question, folks, that no one's ever asked me before. He said to me, Jerome, what can I do to help you? Excuse me? I'm saying to myself, excuse me? No, not how much money can you, what can I do? And I'm like, and I realized I was not prepared for that question. So I said, well, I'm trying to get Les Brown to do the foreword for my book. I know you say you know him. I got a copy of it. Do you think you could? He said, no problem. He said, I talk to him a minimum of once a week. I won't make you any promises, but I'll make sure it comes up. Is that okay? And I said, yeah. So I gave him a copy of it. And then I said, can I get your phone number from Law? And he said, sure. And he left. And I sat there and go, what in the world just happened? What just, and it totally blew me away, because most people, to you, what can you do for me? He said, no, what can I do for you? And that thing stuck with me, stayed with me. And then I get on the first call. Okay. Well, before the first call, Grace calls me and said, "Hey, my name is Grace, blah, 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 blah. I'm your ambassador, blah, 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 blah. You signed up." I said, yeah, blah, blah, blah. It's okay if I ask you a few questions, Mr. Red, because we want to formulate a plan and a process for your business and make it success. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I say, but before we get started, she said, yeah. I said, how much is this going to cost? She said, oh, it's included in the package. I said, excuse me? She said, it's included in the package. I said, come on now. I gave you X amount of dollars and you giving me consulting to go with this and it don't cost me extra. You're not upselling me? That's what I'm saying to myself. I didn't say that to Grace. I was just like, thank you. And then when we got on the first call, he blew me completely out of the water with Google Trends and showing me how much money I can make off of my, I said, wait a minute. Who is ATS? Who is Antonio T. Smith? So folks, under promised, over delivered. I'm still here. It's been going on 3 years, folks. And guess what? I ain't going nowhere. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
That's it. Thank you, sir. That's what I wanted to hear. That's what I wanted everyone to hear, because this is what this gentleman does. I mean, Jerome is not the first person that he has done, that he has talked with and helped, and he won't be the last.
One more thing.
Go ahead, sir. Yes, sir.
And this is for those of you who are new. I have purchased some things from ATS, but I've gotten far more that I didn't purchase that was given to me for free. And I get a phone call from Grace one day saying, hey, Jerome, Antonio has started a new project. He's only bringing in certain people, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, he's working it out. It's probably going to run about $2,000 or so, blah, 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 like that. And I said, hey, Grace, I said, do me a favor. I'm in class right now. Give me about 30 minutes and I'll get back with you with my credit card. Now, she's still telling me the program. I'm going to get back with her with my credit card. So 30 minutes later, when I got to break into class, I called her on the phone and I'm saying, hey, Grace. And she said, yeah. I said, yeah, I told her I was going to call you back. She's still trying to sell me the program, and no name, something that Antonio's going to do. And so while she was still trying to sell me, I said, hey, Grace. She said, yeah. I said, I got my credit card in front of me if you're ready to copy down the numbers. And Antonio's in the background, and I hear him rolling. He is laughing because while she was trying to sell me, I was already sold. Hello. Come on now. Didn't have the name, didn't know what it was. Now, when Antonio flew to Baltimore to do a program, he showed me what I paid for. And when he did, my mouth fell open. And I says, you mean to tell me if I take and take advantage of this, and that's how I knew I was going to make thousands, if not millions of dollars if I followed what he showed me there. And it cost me a couple of dollars. Hello. Just wanted to share that.
Thank you so much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what I'm talking about. This is why I have my buddy on here, because I knew he was going to do it. But to let you all know from firsthand experience, this is what Antonio does. He genuinely helps people. This is how he gives tons and tons and tons of value away. Don't care where he is. Don't care what he's doing. He's good. He is the same person no matter where he is. If he in a pulpit, he gonna say the same thing, and you gonna be like, oh. If he's not in the pulpit and he on Zoom, he gonna say the same thing, and you gonna be like, oh. You gonna get the same guy, But he's genuine, and you can't help but to love. Everybody loves authentic, genuine people, That's why people like Gary Vee. Gary Vee cusses like a sailor, but everybody loves Gary Vee. Why? Because he's genuine, he's authentic, and he's gonna tell it to you like you need to be told to you, and he gives it to you the real. Well, somebody like that is too, is the same way. They got on a black shirt, and he's in my top left corner, But yeah, you're gonna get the same value no matter what no matter what day, no matter where we are. Mr. Smith, you have anything?
No. I'm going to. Thank you very much. That was embarrassing the whole time. Thank you very much. Now let's flip it now, and let's do the rest open Q&A, and how you can do the same thing. If I had to make a simple theme of this, or if I had to don't retitle it, but if I had to retitle it, how you get customers, no, how do you create super fans for free? Those are different. How do you create super fans for free? You don't keep your title, Grace. I'm just telling you, right? If it's just putting a thesis up so people can be able to follow along with the Q&A. How do you create? Ooh, that was a big old yawn, Jerry. I don't know where it came from. It was just out there. It just ran over my whole sentence. All right. How do you create super fans for free? So what is a super fan? Pam Norris, Denise Hill. Oh, shoot, everybody here, actually. Yeah, every last one of you are super fans. Thank you very much. Super fan is someone that will, Jerome actually told a great story. I was laughing. I cannot believe he just, Grace, stop talking. Here, my money. Here you go. Donya does the same thing, this girl, right? You know what I'm saying? You know, just, okay, man. Okay. Okay.
Can I say one thing before you start?
Oh, yeah, you can. And somebody text Jerry my number too.
Okay.
As well. Okay.
Go
ahead,
you mentioned Adonia. You make me laugh because I just remember the last time I spoke with Adonia about something you were. I was talking to her about something, that she wanted to do, and I was letting her know. And I was like, well, yeah, I think Antonio's in the office today. Don't you put me on the phone with the boy, because every time you put me on the phone with him, I end up giving him my card. Every time. That day, it happened. Go ahead.
She's crazy.
The truth. It's the truth. And a lot of times, I don't want to make just the payment, just what's the total amount? I think I paid for something for the annual. I didn't want to pay month to month. Just what's the amount? So yeah, there's a point where you fall. It's like you guys hypnotize us or something. You can't help it.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, be
that
careful.
Might be a good.
Don't have your wallet near your phone.
Yeah, that might be a
Just
good
saying.
sales practice. I might start hiring hypnotists as salespeople, right? You get on the phone and be like, okay, you're going to do, no, or maybe people with the Force, some Star Wars. You're going to buy. Yes, I am going to buy, right? No, that's too funny, Adelia. And you know what? Make sure, I've gotten to the point now, one of the things Adelia did was so fantastic, and she don't even know it. Let me say this, because this is the whole superfan thing. There are 3 levels of mentorship, okay? And this really depends on your character. The 3 levels of mentorship. Well, excuse me. This is objective. How you respond to each depends on your character. So on this first level, that's supposed to be a straight line. This is where you are being mentored, okay? The second level is where you are being mentored, and you are. Let's change this real quick. Let's change this to change some words. You're an apprentice. That's better. This first level, you're an apprentice. You don't know much. The second level, you were consistently an apprentice moving towards your masterpiece. Like, that's the point. This is where most mentors want to keep you out. Uh-oh. Because this is where you spend all the money. You get it? See, right? So if you're here or here, got you. What consistently happens is, at some point, I'm going to teach Adonia so much. Adonia's going to go to this third level, and when she discovers she's a master, I'm saying, Adonia, can you see my screen? Can you see? You know, she might be driving. Y'all know she be, you know, look, she
I am
driving. Look at her.
driving. I
All
am
right.
driving. Almost, yeah, I'm driving.
Okay. You always driving. You know, that Bay Area traffic. Basically, what I got here, Adonia, is 3 levels. I'm calling you a master, so congratulations. I'm calling you a master. And Adonia was like, you know what? I think we're done with coaching. How long? I coached her for over a year. I'm not sure how much. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm done. Now, which you got 2 options once you become a master. You become Adonia and Antonio, and you make the money together as one, as a team, and it's 2 masters. It's not apprentice, it's master and master. Do you get it? 2 masters. This is incredibly important. But most people can't handle that, Jerome, and you've seen this yourself. So what happens is I get mad at Susan, who she thinks she is. Come on. I swear to God to you, I do not bother Susan. If Susan says she wants this done in the Bureau of Diamond Speakers, I don't care what she say. Right? At this point, they just say, hey, we would like to do this. Okay. They know I'm going to say okay. Because I trust Phil and Susan with my legacy. That's powerful. Because my legacy going to last longer than my life. Help me, somebody. I'm talking today, Jerome. I'm talking today. I'm talking today. All right. Now, what typically happens is, so Adonia said, I think we need to coach no more. So I was like, well, girls, that sounds good to me. Well, let's do this together, right? I could have went and got mad at her like every other mentor does. Let me explain this here even better. Your job is to find you an apprentice, Adonia, and then make them a master. And when they pass you up, because they're supposed to, you're not supposed to divide. See, if both people aren't ready for the separation, because Adonia could be mad, or Susan could get mad. You understand? If both people aren't ready for the separation, because it takes 2 sides to work with each other. So if you don't have the character, you start saying, well, I'm better than Les Brown, or I don't know, I'm better than Joel Osteen. I'm just trying to use my story because I put Joel Osteen and Les Brown on pedestals, right? If you followed me, you know that I do that. So I'm trying to use my story as not talk about nobody else. I'm better than Joel Osteen. No, that's not what I say. That's not what I say at all. I say everything that I have in me of character comes from Joel. I'm better than Les. That's not what I say. I don't say that at all. I say everything I know about monetizing a story comes from Les Brown. This is true. It's the truth. Now, if you can't well, I don't want to say one of them now. I'll say cell phone and wallet, okay? If wallet can't handle my greatness, then wallet's going to be pissed off at me now. So now my mentor is beefing with me because I'm big too. You can't have that, right? Well, you can't have that. So shout out to you, Adonia. Unmute your mic. Get these props. Get these props, master. You gonna come on? Get these props. Yeah, come on, y'all gotta force her, y'all, because she don't like open thank yous and encouragement. She like the behind the scenes. Girls, mute that mic and get this love. Come on, get this love. Y'all show her love right now. Come on, show her love till she unmute her mic. She gonna do it. There it is. Come on. There it is. There it is.
Adonia.
Look at it.
I got nothing to say. I got nothing. I got nothing to contribute. You're like a cult, Antonio. It's like a cult. Once they get you, even if I try to run, I can't run nowhere.
You ain't run nowhere. Go in there and make that butter. from that. I know what they do. I don't know what they do with them coats. Whatever they do, turn that butter. Ain't no electricity nowhere.
But thank you for being who you are. You are a challenge. Trust me when I tell you, you are a
Oh yeah.
challenge.
Oh yeah.
You give
You
good
already know.
information, and you know our issue, or if it's an issue, what we all need to do once we have that kind of information in front of us is implement, and that's been my biggest challenge. No excuse, I'm not even gonna make one. But you know, I need to get my priorities together and not put everything and everybody else in front of me, which is what I've been doing. So I'm kind of past that, and
Amen.
when I take what I've learned, I got it. You know, I feel very comfortable that I can do this. So thank you for your challenges.
Very welcome. And I trust her as a master to get that done. See? Yeah, you don't become a master and not have no more challenges. Come on, that's not the way it works. She's got enough in her now to handle that problem. And if she's got any conflict, she knows that conflict as she better start saying no a whole lot more, right? Which she's already working on. She's already doing it. So now I just check on her, don't you? But this is the way, you know, I'm weird. I check on her, don't you? She knows. She'll tell you. I just say, go get some wine. That's like literally, that's how I check on her. Am I lying to don't you? I'm like,
now you telling my business. Don't be telling my business.
that's how I check on her. I just shoot her a message late at night. Well, it's late for me, but I know it's early for her. And I say, get some wine, right? You know, and she knows I mean, forget them, do some you time. And she knows that's what I mean, right? You know, she knows what I mean. So good stuff. And she's been responding back, y'all, in a day. It's only taken 3 days to respond back. Yeah, she done got to 24 hours. I'm special.
You know, that's not nice. That's not nice. Here, you guys here. But here's the deal. My days are 10 hours, easy 10 hours. And that's office to home, you know, office and then eventually getting home. They're 10 hours. Then you guys, which is, I'm going to get killed. Sorry, hold on. This truck is going to kill me. Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to claim that.
No, I'm sorry. You didn't have too much emotion behind it.
A truck is on a curve and I turn, it's a blind curve, big old 18-wheeler, and I'm in the other people's lane. Okay, sorry. Anyway, yeah. So my day, 10 hours, and then when I get home, I try to do me. I try to have Adonia time, not just to wind down, but to try to get into my business, read a book or something. I'm exhausted. I mean, literally, I'm exhausted. And then I try to catch the calls. Think about it. When you start putting stuff in the spaces, my space for me is very small. And by the time I have it, I'm too tired.
Like 30 minutes.
Exactly. I'm too tired to be very productive. And so I may not go to bed till 12, 12:30, 1 o'clock. I'm up at 5. So I sleep 3 or 4 hours. I can't keep doing that and being with sound mind and good judgment and creativity because I'm living and talking in exhaustion.
Yeah.
You know, so right now I'm finally at the office. That's a whole nother conversation. I can't even get out my house with my phone not ringing. I have a very unfortunate situation I got to deal with today that I got walk in the office because I'm going to have to probably turn.
Uh-oh. We lost you, don't
She must be in a bad area.
She must be in a
Because
bad
her mic is
spot,
still unmuted.
Yeah. There you go. Well, Adonia works really hard. And I'm going to tell you what I did with Adonia, and then we'll get back. Not with Adonia, when I had Adonia situation. I was like, you know what? I need to leave, Jerome. This is too much, whatever, right? This is too much, all that stuff. I need to leave. It's too much this, it's too much that. It's boom, 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 boom. So when I left, guess what I did, Mayuri? I just created it somewhere else. I did. Oh, I just replaced my problem, and I made it look differently over here. Because until you address the problem in here, or in here, whatever you say, you're going to keep carrying the problem everywhere. It's true. All right? So them 15-hour days, all that stuff, then they went right back to, here it is over here. I just like working. I like working my tail off. But I like working because I used to think it's because I'm a workaholic. Well, that actually is true, Pam Norris. That's actually true. I am a workaholic. Let me not try to make myself look good. I am literally a workaholic. Yeah. Very bad. I've ruined many relationships. All you care about is that job or that company. Right? I've ruined many relationships. Believe me. Please know. Please know that's the truth. You put them before me. But now I do what's just fun for me. So it's never like work. Right? You have a passion for what you do. Yeah, yes, exactly that, Pam Norris. And it energizes me. How do you turn all that into creating all you super fans for free? Like, that's the deal. I'll tell y'all what I was thinking about yesterday, and then y'all get to ask questions. I was thinking about yesterday, what would it cost me to go get 1,000 Pam Norrises? That's what I was thinking about yesterday. I'm dead serious. And how much would it cost per Pam Norris? And I'm thinking, wow, okay. And then it hit me. Y'all got to hear this. There was this little thought hit me, and I wasn't ready for it. I just wasn't ready for it. Jerome, I said, I put the dollar amount on there, something like, I don't know, it was in the thousands, whatever it was, because I was just thinking while I was frying fish and thinking at the same time. I know that's weird, but that's what I was doing. Okay, so I'm thinking this here, and I go, it's some thousands, and then it dawned on me, okay, but would you be willing to pay that? Would you be willing to pay that cost? And I start thinking to myself, how many times have I lost or did not receive or did not get 1,000 Pam Norrises because I said, I don't want to pay that price there? This is a conversation in my head. I'm not saying I do this. I'm just telling you the conversations I have in my head when I'm like, my relaxing time is to think about not relaxing. Go figure. Go figure. Are you willing to pay for that? So that's a great jumping board here. I obviously get most of my customers for free. Obviously, even in the freeness of that, it comes with, 9 years of hard work and all the equipment paid. So really, it's not for free. But, we'll leave that alone for the conversation. How do y'all create super fans? How do you get Denise Hill? Very hard. Denise Hill, how many brands are you loyal to? I'm very interested into knowing that. Because Denise is a woman of substance. That's a woman of substance. How many brands are you loyal to? Because people like y'all not loyal to brands. Not all of them. You're not. Y'all are hard customers to get. Did y'all know that? Carol, surely you know that, Carol. Surely you know that getting a Carol is not easy. Surely you know that. It's not easy. It's not. Not getting a Carol and Carol wants to be there. That's very hard. It's very hard. Surely you know that. All right, Jerome, let's start with you. For your poems, I'll localize it for you. We'll put it in two places. We want to build your success team of 4,000 people. So we want 4,000 people to be super fans of your success team. That means they show up to every meeting. You feel me? They show up to every meeting. It means they show up to the calls. It means they show up to calls when they don't even have a guest because they didn't want you to look bad and they didn't want their colleagues to look bad. And then, actually, and somehow those same 4,000 people read your poetry. Ask me questions how to pull it off, how I would pull. And all I'm going to do is tell you how I would do it. As long as you allow me that, since that keeps us true to Grace's class, then we can go ahead. Go ahead, Jerome.
4,000 fans.
Super.
On every call.
Super.
Super.
That means 4,000, the way you love me, 4,000 of those people. Right? The way I showed up to Baltimore, because y'all know I went to Baltimore? I don't know if y'all know. Denise honored me, and I had a personal problem that was just stupid. So freaking stupid. It was, let's just call it a child custody problem, just to leave it simple. Okay, let's just do that. Just to leave it simple. And it made me miss my flight. So I attempt to book the last flight to get to Maryland that day, whatever it was. I couldn't do it. So I had Gianna drive me all the way to the airport anyway, because I don't know if y'all know me. Just because you tell me I can't do something don't mean I'm not going to go up there and say, yeah, I need to change the rules, because that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I'm in the airport 9 o'clock at night trying to get a flight out, and they're like, sir, it just doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. But I'm not trying to hear that. So that's why I missed, because anyway, it's just, okay, no, anyway, it's just I've been married twice. I got married super young, super duper young. And something from that first marriage seeped up, which never happens. I never have anything personal effects, but it sure enough did that day. And so in my head, I just totally let Denise down. So what do? I go do something stupid and be like, I come up there a whole week, right? You know, that's how I got there in the first place, you know, to do something like that. Now, those kind of fans. And I didn't do that. I did that because of my respect for Denise, right? Like, in the same way she's a super fan of me, I'm a super fan of her. Right? In the same way, Jerome, you're a super fan of me, I'm a super fan of you. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's that. How do you get 4,000? Those people. That's why I told that story. Those people that would miss a 45-minute keynote and then spend 7 days worth of expenses to make that up. Those people. How do you go get those people? Well, you ask me questions. If you got ideas, go ahead. But you ask me what I would do.
The thing that comes to me with that question, come back to me with that, is what I said to you yesterday when you were talking about the different points, and it goes back to that value. If everything about you permeates value, because when you were saying about, you know, how can I get a more Pam Norris? How can I get more Denise? How can I get more Jerome's? How can I get more like that? When you are a magnet of value, guess what? Even when you aren't trying to get me, you got me. And so that's what we've got to make sure that we do in whatever we put our hands on, whatever we touch. And if it isn't of value, then we need to make it that way, or we need to put it aside and find something else. You don't, then you're just like everybody else. And if you're just like everybody else, why should people spend time with you, and why should they spend their money with you? Because you're no different than everybody else. And so when you say dominate, you know, you use that word, Antonio, but that is such a valuable thing, because if people know that no one can compete with you, who else they're going to go to? Hello? And then you come there and you run your mouth, and people say you're arrogant and you're into yourself, but you back up what you say. Well, you can get mad with me all you want, still the truth. You ain't got to like the truth. That don't change it. So you can be like that, because what did I say yesterday? You know, I don't mean to, I don't want to say this out loud, but you're a genius. Because I had to throw that other piece on. I had to throw it on it because it's the truth. It's the truth. And I'm not that genius, So that's my way of feeling better about myself. But
That makes plenty of sense. Yeah, that makes plenty of sense.
That's what we as fans, that's what I want to be. I want to, and that's what's been running through my mind of late, Antonio. That's the thing with the poetry. When you said you were going to do the rap every day, that triggered something inside of me that said, what did you say 3 months ago, Jerome, that you ain't done? And I have written a poem every day since then, and some days too. And I go back and I read them, Antonio, and they ain't junk. They are valuable. They are nice.
Yeah, I got like 20 to send to Carol. I've got like 20 to send to. You're gonna be busy for a long time, Carol. Once I send them over, you're gonna be busy. That's for sure. You said a few things that I can pull out as questions. So how do you create this attitude? So Antonio, how do I create this attitude of winning with my people, within my people, right? How do I create this attitude of winning? That's what you said, dominate. So how do you convince all the people who get Ice Buddy that they're going to win? That's good. Which, by the way, I looked at your homework assignment, Sam Norris. It was fantastic. You are literally dominating this One Business Away challenge. You really are. You really are. Yes, you're very welcome. She is not playing, y'all. She is not playing. She is not playing. How do you get, let's see, how does Denise Hill, if I'm by Control-Alt-Delete, I'm going to dominate. Now, or whatever version of that is yours, right? You know, that could be empathy, whatever version of your version of dominate that could be. Somehow, I've convinced people, come win with me. You get it? Like, that's hard. I don't know how I did it, to be honest with you. I'm pretty sure it's got something to do with my character. But I think like that in real life, though. I think like that in real life, so it's not hard to. One of the most comfortable things I've done, Pam Norris, is the same guy you met in Hawaii. It's the same guy that's right here, right now. Like that is very, very, like she met me in public persona mode. Only to find out, oh, that's him, right? That's him. Oh, that's him.
And that's that consistency is what keeps me here. It is because you're genuine, and you're not selling you to me. You're just being you.
Yeah.
And then we come as equals, you know. So that's very attractive, and and it also creates a great synergy.
I did not think about that last part. You're all right. I'm pretty sure Deanna thought about it. She's got it.
You know what?
But yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what?
Oh, great, Carol.
You show yourself as being who you are, but you allow people to be who they are. And you're showing them how to show up as you are by doing some of the things that I've done, because I have the tools and I can help you with it. So you don't show up as I'm the king, I know it all, although you have an encyclopedia up there. You can have an encyclopedia. Use my encyclopedia so that you can be great in where you stand. And that's why people stick with you.
Good point.
Because you're real, you're down to earth, and you're yourself.
Yeah, that's for sure. I appreciate that. I appreciate that for sure. Yeah, no, I know what I know. Other than that, we'll talk it out. And I come back and be like, hey, I got beat up doing this. Don't do this, Jerome. Don't do it that way, right? So, hey, we're going to do this, y'all. Okay, let's go do it. Boom. Okay, hey, y'all, yesterday I told you to do this. Don't do that, right? Go ahead, Denise. We got you unmuted, but I can't hear you. You're about to do whatever that thing you do when you do it. Which, by the way, I sure hope all y'all buy Denise's book. Can you dig it? They really do. They really do. I was actually very proud when I saw you show her book, Grace. I didn't know you bought it. That actually made me proud.
Oh, yeah.
Cheer.
That's it.
Cheer. That actually made me proud. Good stuff. Good stuff.
That's all right.
Can you put the link in again for that again?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I'm sure when I get that done. Now, while Denise is getting her audio together, how do you create more fam nurses? So obviously, and Carol just brought out information, a bunch of information. But Carol said something. She said, but you're not a king with it. Okay. Equal information. Information that gets me overwhelmed but doesn't make me feel stupid. Right? Like the delivery of this information doesn't diminish. At the end of the day, I don't need y'all. Like, I don't need any men following me to be a boy so I can feel like a man. I just don't need that to happen. You can stay as strong as you want. You're not bothering me whatsoever, right? I don't need any of you women to be yes women or something to follow me. I want all the pushback. It doesn't bother me whatsoever. All I want us to do is be one group that took over the world. That's my goal. All right, go ahead, Denise.
Can you hear me?
We got you now.
Okay. So you've said the word dominance a few times, and it's a bit triggering for me right now. And I'm not trying to bring the conversation down at all. You're awesome, absolutely.
Nah, you good.
So of course I'm here in DC. I was down at the protest, and then to hear this man,
I saw you.
hear this man with his use the word dominance. Dominate.
Yeah.
And then to hear it so many times, it's a bit triggering. I don't want you to change. My question is, do you consider things like that when in your branding, like to what degree, trying to make it a teachable moment so I can be distracted.
Nah, I got you. I got you. Yeah.
To what degree do you adjust your language or messaging or what have you to not trigger certain things in the minds of potential customers?
Yep.
Or does it not matter because you are who you are?
Nah, it matters. It absolutely matters. It is. The cool answer is, nah, it doesn't matter. I am who I am. But no, that's BS. It absolutely matters. It matters because you gave me a bunch of talk about it. It matters because I'm not right. My market's right. Y'all should receive that. You understand? Denise wasn't protesting by herself. Do you understand? And if you look at her Facebook, she's been protesting since 2008 and 5, right? So she's not new to this, this injustice fight. So shout out to you. But I could never be right if my market thinks I'm not. I think that's what y'all need to. If I can make you more like me in that category, you don't need to be like me at all. But if I can make you more like me in that category, I don't know anything. So going backwards in the conversation, when do I consider it? I've never in my life considered the word dominate to hit a trigger until just now. Until just now. And of course that I completely understand what she said, period. So here would be the adjustments that I would make moving forward. I'm not changing dominate, right, because it's me, but I don't think dominate in that sense. But how it is delivered, it's got to change, right? It has to, at least for right now. You understand? So when I say at the end, you can't play better, you can't dominate, I'll make sure that without a doubt, that comes off, at least the dominate part, comes out with empathy, right? Without a doubt. That'd be one of the things. I mean, you can't just, just go change a slogan or a tagline, overnight. That's one. The second thing is explanation, Denise, is explanation. People, I don't know how to say this without being like just too bold, so I guess I'll just be too bold and say it. This is the time for explanations. Do y'all understand? This is a time for explanations, and it's not time for you to have one if you're not a victim of injustice. This is most certainly the time of explanations. But if you're not a victim, shut up. It's the truth. And nowhere, there's only two areas of injustice that we tell the person who is having an injustice to shut up. When it comes to Black people and women. And I'm telling you, I don't know why we do this. This is just history. If Topo Chico was a white woman and she got raped, our dumb selves would go, but what did you do? I wish I had some women here that really understand that we do this dumb stuff. Don't y'all call it victim blaming? Right? Ain't that what it's called? That's exactly what we do. Now, shut up. What did you do to turn him on? Right? Or shut up, woman. Look at your clothes. You were at that party. Come on, did we do this? When he invited you to the room, you knew what you were getting into, Topo Chico. That's what we do. I can't be the only one on planet Earth. This is what we do. You knew what he called you for at 3 a.m. for, and that doesn't mean I wanted to get raped. You understand? So the time of explanations is the woman getting raped. She deserves to talk now. She doesn't deserve for me to say, all crimes matter. Come on, that's real talk. I got raped. Yeah, but all crimes matter. That doesn't make any sense. Right? So in the beginning of this conversation, you say, all right, Denise, I got you. I heard you loud and clear. This is the time for explanations. I hit her trigger. So I don't get to say nothing. I'm obviously not her oppressor, but I did hit her trigger. Do you understand what I'm saying? So at no point, I got you, Susan. So at no point am I to say, nah, I'm not going to change. That's just me. No. Because if that's the case, then march against me too, Denise. Because the reason we march is because they not changing, right?
And it happened so fast because it wasn't a trigger yesterday, you know? It was.
I know. Yeah.
I was with you. Yeah, let's dominate. Let's take it over. But now it has a completely different connotation to it. It's crazy.
No doubt. Yeah. And that's because, man, because your worldview has been opened wider, right? And there are some people with just as much charisma as me, with just as much platform as me or more, with just as much no empathy as me, saying the same words. You feel me? Like I'm not that much different from the person saying dominate. When you think about it, what makes me different is I have learned behaviors that make me have a selfless love for others, and I would die before I abuse somebody, right? Like I fight injustice. I've told y'all, if somebody is being raped and I'm outnumbered, well, I'm just dying that day because I'm not fit to let it just go by without passing. It's just not going to happen, right? It's just not going to happen. Go ahead, Susan, and I'm going to keep jumping with this because I know you're right in alignment with what's going on.
Well, for me, I understood that somehow deep inside of me in the 60s. First, babysitting.
Amazing.
Babysitting for someone. And, the guy doing different things and saying different things over and over. And they were our next door neighbor. And they always wanted me to babysit. And I love those 3 kids. And but I kind of didn't want to anymore because I just felt uncomfortable around him. And even to the point one time where he came out of the bathroom, I was in the other room with the kids and playing where I could see and they couldn't. He didn't pull up his pants, you know. I didn't even know what that was, you know. I mean, this is back in the 60s with none of that. And, you know, never tell
and
my
you didn't have no voice either. You didn't have no voice in those 60s.
No, I didn't. I was too ashamed. And eventually they moved, but our good friend, we were having dinner, our good friend who did all of our computer stuff and all that, and he passed away. I'm lost without him. That's why my laptop didn't get fixed. And we were having dinner with him and his girlfriend that we knew, and she was from that other state. And I was saying, well, you guys have been gone for over a week or so. I mean, she's the head person in banking. I said, how do you handle that when you're not there? And she said, oh, I have a great assistant. And for some reason, I knew when she said that, just somehow, in another big city in Columbus, Indiana, I knew that it was the little girl. For some reason, it just came upon me. And I'm like, what's her name? And she told me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I lost track of them when they were little girls. And now we are dear friends. And her parents divorced and all that. And of course, I would never mention that to her. And they don't really speak to the dad that much. So I had that experience. And then going into jobs, I had that. I had a few experiences at college like that, but I always knew how to protect myself. But then going into jobs, the same thing happened in jobs. And that's, you know, why I quietly would leave them, you know, and never say anything to my parents or anyone, never really even said it so much as here. And that was one of the freedoms of, you know, having your own business, not dealing with those sort of things. But it never stops, really.
No, it's not. It ain't stopping now.
Yeah, I'm always aware where I am in my surroundings and who may be. And you know, if Phil travels out of town, please do not put on Facebook where you are, that you left, or, you know, even if you are traveling, don't put pictures up or anything about your vacation while you're on it. Wait till you're back if you want to do it when you're back. But I never want him saying things like that, and I never did with all the traveling. So, and especially now with social media, so be aware of those sort of things in your location. I don't put, you know, I don't know the technical part of it, but I make sure I don't show my location on anything.
Smart woman, especially. Feel on stage and not everybody knows, oh, she's home alone.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
So you have to be always as women.
No, I respect that. Women, again, and this is just me, just me rationalizing American history. I know we got other countries. This isn't wrong to say. This is just historicity. It just ruffles feathers every time I say it, but I'm just not going to stop saying it. The black man got the right to vote before the white woman. That ain't my history. We are not kind to women. We're just not. We're not kind to women. So Denise, while Susan was talking, it made me think about it as she was talking about the possibility of most certainly being raped. It made me think about that word nominate was raped for you, right? Yesterday. She said it happened so fast. It wasn't a problem yesterday. It happened so. So basically, here's what I'm going to do. Right? I'm going to do. Because eventually this will pass. Now, this is the time for explanations. Let me explain that. That is not an excuse for y'all to want it to pass. When I say eventually this will pass, that doesn't mean you say, that was 400 years ago, because that's what we get a lot. All right? If you still want to remember September 11th, no offense, then you also need to remember my man shot dead in the street. Or anyway, he wasn't even shot, for God's sake. But anyway, just whatever. And people are hurting. It doesn't matter if it's got something to do with you. That's actually the problem. That's actually the problem. And so here's what I'm going to do, Denise. So this is how I will handle that, because that's what this class was about, right? Antonio, how would you create super fans? This is an opportunity for me to create super fans. That's not saying that I want to create super fans for someone's pain, but brand over sales at all times. I could really change that to human decency over money at all times is what I should say, right? We're just in a sales class. So I've got to use these words to stay on topic. So Denise, I can guarantee you, I'm going to suspend my love for domination for a couple of weeks and replace it with something else. Maybe my love. I got it right here, Denise. Separation is an illusion. It's something that I say all the time, and I mean it. Separation is an illusion. See, here's the deal. This is what Denise recognizes. Like, dominate is just in me. That's in me. I don't know nothing else, but I wasn't born that way. Or maybe I was, but for sure, my life made me that way. It's my communication, my ear. I had to eat at 6:30. I'm being molested in the streets, right? You understand what I'm saying? 7, I'm being raped in the streets. 8, I'm homeless. So the only way I've lived was domination. I had to get up, and everybody was going to pay that day. It just is what it is. I mean, well, how else are I going to survive? You can't be weak and survive homeless as a 54-pound, what is that? 83-kilo child, right? You just can't do that. You can't do that. I'm skinny. Ribs is showing through my shirt. However, my market is hurting. So there's another side of me, and that other side of me, Shaker, is separation is an illusion. Separation is a bunch of crap. It really is. It is something that we didn't design it. Let me tell you something. We didn't design it. All right. So I'm using we here loosely. It's something that we created to divide people, right? So Denise, great freaking question. What I'm going to do is I'm going to roll with separation is an illusion for quite some time. How does that feel?
I just want to be clear. I wasn't asking you to change anything. I wasn't requesting that of you. But I was wondering with the question, I just had the question, like, because there could be other words that pop up tomorrow. This guy's got all types of craziness coming out his mouth. It could be anything tomorrow. that might be attached to any one of our brands. You know what I mean? Yeah. It could be, survival tomorrow. Now Pam Norris is like, well, wait a minute, I got survival in my job. It could be any one of us tomorrow with something. So I just wanted to know a method and how to address that with your brand so that you're not alienating consumers or offending them. But I appreciate you.
No. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I got you. If you want the message, this is what I did. Step 1, I recognize my market is hurting and I'm not right. Right? Step 2, I adjusted to my market vibration. Step 3, I suspended what I'm known for and led with love that the people needed. That's no different than Nike saying, you know, Black Lives Matter on there. You know, they're risking their brand to do that. Reebok, you know, you see it's no different. And then I asked my audience, number 5, right? I asked my audience, Denise, are you okay with me riding with your pain? Is that okay? Right? Like, are you okay with me getting in the trenches with you? Is basically what I asked. Now, no, she did not ask. But no, and look, the realest thing you said, Denise, it's gonna be 50 more words today. Let me tell you, you're gonna put around and say podcast, and that's gonna be a trigger. it's gonna be 50 more words today. But that was perfect. So Grace, once again, your class was, what do you call it? How do you say Holy Spirit led, but in universal terms? How do you say that? Let's just say divine. Your class was divine. All right, there we go. So I'm trying to look for a different way to, you know, it was supposed to be, because if I had, Grace, do you mind if I take the remainder and do some closing thoughts? Do you mind?
No, I don't, sir. Go ahead.
Outstanding. All right, here we go. Jerome, was that a home phone in your background, man? Did I hear a home phone?
Yes.
You know what? You are a baby boomer.
No. That's my sister-in-law.
Okay, all right.
That's her phone.
Right. Well, you tell her there ain't nobody call that home phone but bill collect. They ain't bill collectors. These is people. They're not even bill collectors. They them robo dollars. Soon as the dog can answer them, hi, do not hang up. Did you know? The only people who call a home phone.
I don't answer it.
All right. Let's roll with this fantastic, beautiful class and what Denise said. Denise proved that your market matters. Hopefully, I'm not trying to prove anything. I don't know anything. I don't know if I said that in this class or the meeting. There's a famous saying by a guy who writes all these screenplays. No one knows anything. Period. I don't know anything. The only thing I know is what my market knows. Period. My market tells me what to do every day. The reason I keep being right, it's not because I'm right. It's because I'm listening to my market. It's easy to be right when you're not trying to be right. Literally, I shouldn't even be called a genius. I should be called a listener. Is what I should be called. They should say, he's a listener. Is what he should be saying. I'm not a genius. I'm a listener. I'm listening to people talk. I'm listening. So now I know that some of my market are marching. I had a white person reach out to me today and yesterday. Different people reach out to me, and they said, I'm going to participate in so basically this is what, as of this record, it's people to see this way late. It's called Blackout Tuesday, right? So essentially anyone who supports the preservation of Black lives are participating and not posting on social media to show unity, solidarity, and how much power we actually have versus outside what the media says, right? And the corporations and stuff. And one of the white people reached out to me and said, I'm doing it. And I watched the page. They put it up, and at the very bottom it said, muted, but I'm listening and learning. This is a 24-year-old, I think she's 24-year-old white girl. I'm pretty sure she's 24-year-old white girl who knows nothing. I was her manager when she was 16 years old. The last job I had is less than 2011, but I started there in 2009. So in 2009, she was 16. So whatever age that is, Grace, tell me how old she is. 2009, she was 16. And she was the front end register girl, and she stayed there until graduation of high school.
She be
She
27.
was 16 in 2009.
She should be 27. She should be 27.
27. All right. I knew she was something. And but you got to check this out. She lives in Santa Fe. Now, someone tell them what that means. Someone tell them what that means. Someone with Texas knowledge, tell them what that means real quick.
Okay. As an African American, we drive through Santa Fe. We don't stop in Santa Fe.
Where's the head of the Ku Klux Klan in
Santa Fe.
Southeast? Okay, there you go. All right, all right. So just want you to get an idea of what's going on here. Okay. Yes, the head of Texas has a lot of rural places. I am currently sitting, I don't know, 5 miles away from Santa Fe, like right now, just 5, if that. It may be 3. It may be 3. I may be 3 miles away. 5 may be pushing it, okay? 5 may be pushing it. So here she is, born and raised, Santa Fe, 60 years old, loves me to death. I was her manager. I taught her, and I had the same business mind then. I just made some bad investments, had to go get a job. And then boom. And she said, I'm participating, but I'm listening and I'm learning. Beautiful. So now I got 2 elements of my market. Denise is participating, but she's fighting. Fighting 4. Blank is participating, but she's listening. So now it tells me my market, and you can't get 2 polar opposite than Denise and this person. Like that's literally 2 ends of the spectrum. You have one fighting 4, fighting to be heard, and the other one is listening to her fight. You couldn't build more poetry for this class, Grace. It couldn't be more divine. You understand? When you said to me you were going to do this last night, it was literally divine how Denise is fighting to be heard, and I get a message this morning, I'm going to fight to listen. So what do I have in my mind? If I just take those 2, which I've taken way more than that, I've got a bunch of people on 2 ends of the spectrum. And my job is to get into both of those and listen to my market. Go ahead, Phil. Look like you want to say something.
Well, you said earlier, being perfect is being right. Being your best is willing to be wrong.
Amen to that. And I am, and that's, it's one of those things. Are you willing to be wrong here? Because if you're not willing to be wrong here, then you're not listening. You're not listening. The right people don't hear. One of the worst things we can do. Let's go back to Denise. Hey, Antonio, man, you hit a trigger. She didn't complain one time, and I hit it with righteousness. Well, that ain't Denise. One of the worst things we can do is be righteous. It may be. If we can get rid of our righteousness, we may solve every problem in the world single-handedly. I truly believe that. I really, really do. If we can just, baby, we fighting for so much. If we just eliminate righteousness, in my awareness as of today, it will fix almost instantaneously every problem plaguing the world today. It will. Righteousness is the worst, or at least one of the worst things that we do. It's one of the worst things we do. Yes, there are, what is it? I saw something today that just shocked me. Chris Rock said, and I couldn't believe that I never thought about this. I couldn't believe it. This, Pam Norris, it blew my mind how common sense this was. Chris Rock said something, I'm going to paraphrase it. It's like, but of course there are, bad cops, but You can't say that about any other job, right? Yes, that is definitely a powerful statement of truth, Donnie. I agree with it. He said you can't say this. What a man said. Oh, well, you know, we got some few bad apples with pilots. American Airlines come to you and say we got a few bad apples. You know, most of our pilots, they like to land, but a few of them like to crash in the mountains. But it's okay. I went, huh, why does that make sense? And he was saying you can't say that. You can't keep saying that about a job. I was like, huh, that makes sense. And then I was listening. This is me listening to my market. Listen to my market. And I'm listening to my market say, well, yeah, man, but, you know, it's not all of us. This is, right, obviously, a white person talking. No, it's not. No, it's not. Then, on the flip side, the same conversation, I'm looking at another, but no, it ain't all of us. And then they blame us. I forget what they said. They say, every time, oh, it was so poetical the way they did it too. You know, this is too poetical for me to make up. Y'all turn white conversations into white, what's the conversations like fighting? It's something. Confrontations. Yeah, that's what it was, right? White conversation and white confrontation. He's not wrong. Well, he is wrong, but he's not wrong, right? You know, so he's totally wrong, but he's not wrong because it's his thought. So I'm listening to that, right? I'm listening to that. Like pay attention. Just give me like a few minutes left. I'm listening to all that. I'm dicing it everywhere. I'm listening. Okay. So you got white allies who want to be white allies. And then you got white ally or people claiming to want to be, right? Boom. No problem. Then you got at least young white people saying, Denise, I'm listening. And you got Denise saying, I'm talking, right? You know, I'm done talking. I'm marching, right? You know, I'm whatever, right? Whatever that may be. So you're blending all this together. You're blending. I already know what to do next for the next 2 months. I promise you. I have listened to my audience for the next 2 months. I already know what to do. So I'm just listening. And all I'm going to do is keep listening. And it's going to get more refined, more better. But I can assure you, as my awareness rises, forget what y'all know. I know where I'm at in awareness. I know my geographical spiritual location, right? I do. Righteousness is our problem. It is. Righteousness. There are two types of righteousness. One that is the righteous of righteous, and we don't do that. That's not even our battle. You understand? Like whoever made good, whatever good means, that most perfect good there is, most of you would call God, universe, that's not my battle. I can't do anything about that. But then whenever I think I'm right, that's when we get a problem. Let me tell you something. Denise, I'll ruin this whole company if I start thinking I'm right. That's the difference between me and most people. That's the difference. That is the honest to God difference between me and most people. I will ruin my company. If Susan couldn't run the front side of the Bureau of Dominant Speakers better than me, then why did God send her here? How about that? Well, was I not supposed to say that? Was I not supposed to say that I'm a CEO that can't do stuff like everything well? No. Of course I'm supposed to say that. It doesn't get said. But why is Susan here if she couldn't do a better job on the front side? I'll handle the back side. You handle the front side. It's the truth. And if you can't get out your righteousness, you're never going to let Susan shine, and you're never going to get to where you want to get to. So I hear you loud and clear, Denise. I hear you because you wasn't even trying to be heard. help you somebody. I hear you because that wasn't your agenda. I hear you because your pain is loud. Just like I hear all the hate and everything else. I hear it all. And I'm just listening. But as a final thought from me, if you want to create super fans, you probably shouldn't be righteous. What did Jerome say? Yeah, he arrogant, he look confident. I am. I'm all that. You can think, well, all that. I am. But where does confidence come from? Losses. You don't learn confidence from winning. You learn confidence from losing. So when you stick a boy in a trash can and say, now live, if he does, he's going to come out confident. How else is he supposed to come out? There is no other way to come out the trash can. You know, right? What can you possibly do to me? You gonna make me poor? I've been there. You gonna send me to jail? I'll not do that too. There's nothing you can do. There is absolutely nothing you can do to me that is going to make me unconfident. And if you somehow find a way, you need to get out my reality. You understand? You are bad. You're bad for my reality. Get out of here. Right? Get out of here. Now, we're not talking about make me unwrong. You can make me wrong all you want to. I hope you make me wrong because I need to make the company better. But to steal my confidence? Oh, no. First off, it's not for sale. How about that? My confidence is not for sale, Pam Norris. You ain't getting it. Secondly, I damn sure ain't giving it to you if you try it. I'm giving it to me. I'm not giving it to you. I'm giving it to me, God dog it. Your righteousness is a killer. So Denise, do yourself a favor. I'm talking to everybody, but I'm talking to me and Denise. There's something I had to learn. And this gets to the law of attraction class now. You need to let people be righteous without it bothering you. That's hard. There's a phrase for that. It's called master creators. It means that
I'm not sure if you already know this, but you're already absolutely perfect. You're already absolutely great, and you're already living in massive abundance. The most important things that you have is not what you have, it's not what you do, it's what you know. Because the people who do know what you need to know to lead the middle class, they're in the top 1%, and they control 96% of the world's income. 97% of this world is trading time for money, and that is not the way to become rich, it's not the way to become wealthy, and it is absolutely not the way to leave the middle class. There are 7.8 billion people in the world right now, and they all want to learn how to make money and how to leave the middle class. But the way to become a master at anything is to learn all the rules and then bend them to your favor. Right now in this world, there are 2,057 billionaires. Right now. So if you think becoming a billionaire is impossible, that's 2,057 people that have already proved that impossibility incorrect. And if you think that's crazy, there are 46.8 million millionaires in the world, worldwide right now. Now think about that. 46.8 million millionaires, and that number grows 1,730 millionaires every single day. Money is everywhere. You don't need to max out your credit cards. You don't need to borrow from granddad and grandma. Just look behind me. Look at all the wealth sitting behind me in this junkyard. It's insane how much money is everywhere, and you don't need to go out there and beg, borrow, and steal to get it. You just need to know the rules of making money and how to leave the middle class. Essentially, all you need to know is the algorithm of making money, the rules of making money. All you need to know is what to do and how to do it, and you can leave the middle class. Any industry, yoga, golf, underwater basket weaving, clipping fingernails, it doesn't matter. All you have to do is know how to do it, how to get it done, and then find somebody to teach you how to do it, how to get it done, and you will be able to leave the middle class. If you're not getting my point, It's real simple. Whatever you have up here, as long as you understand the rules of leaving the middle class, as long as you understand how to get money, you can take what's up here and get wealthy from what you already have. Right now, the very thing you know up here is already being searched 1,000 times a second on Google. Someone right now, actually 1,730 people right now are going to become a millionaire from the stuff that you have in your head. Why can't this be you? I mean, it's 1,730 people with your ideas that are no better than you, that are going to leave the middle class, become a millionaire. Why are you not next? So how do we do this? How do we take what you know and apply it to objective money-making secrets and then allow you to leave the middle class? How do we take you from where you are and let you escape to where you want to go? So how do we make all this money or take all this knowledge from the Warren Buffetts, from the Elon Musk? How do we take everything that everyone before you has done, and how do we take all of that and then put it in your head so you can leave a legacy for your family? My name is Antonio T. Smith Jr. 32 years ago, I lived in a trash can. That's right, from 6 to 14, I had no running water, no electricity, no anything, and somehow I'm in the top 1% today. Not because I had the right background, not because I had a silver spoon in my mouth, simply because being homeless made me learn how to make money. I retired when I was 29 years old. I'm more than likely younger than you. I'm one of the top 1% income earners in one of the richest countries in the world. What I learned how to do when I was 6 years old was learn how to generate enough money to eat some cookies so I wouldn't die to death from starvation. From there, I learned how to go from cookies to a meal. From a meal to clothes to shelter to everything else that supplied my necessary needs. When I was 6, I was forced to learn how to make money, and now that's what I'm going to do and help you do. I've seen amazing results. I have my own economy, I've homeschooled my own children, and I wrote a book that teaches you every single thing that I know about making money, every single thing that other people know about making money, and most importantly, all the stuff that we don't tell you. Because the truth is, and you know it like I know it, the most honest, the most hardworking, unselfish people on planet Earth live in the middle class. Yet, your honesty, your unselfishness, your devout religion-going self is not enough to get to the top 1%, and that's not fair. The second half of my life has been not about how much money I make, but how I will be remembered from all the money that I have made. And I've been trying to teach everybody how to get out the middle class. I'm the crazy guy famous on the internet for trying to create 100,000 millionaires. I've created 8 so far. I got a 9th one on the way, all the way from India. That's pretty cool. And what I want to tell you is something very simple. It's been hard. It's been absolutely hard to help people leave the middle class, not because of the people, because the system would rather keep you being someone else's money instead of you having your own economy and having the money come find and flow to you. It was frustrating because I knew that anybody can make money. And if you knew what I knew, you would change your life. Over the last few years, I've built a large following of over 500,000 people every month that pay me for me to give them advice. Well, that's been exciting for me. And the cool thing is I've created thousands of six-figure earners. I've created millionaires. I've created people who can live their dreams and hold on to their legacies. And now my eyes are on you to create you to what you need to be great. I have been teaching my principles and these principles to hundreds of thousands of people around the world, every country, all continents, and anyone who has taken them seriously, written them down, and applied them have a 100% success rate of leaving the middle class. I've taught these secrets to my following, my inner network, and I've watched them go from 4 figures to 5 figures, 5 figures to 6 figures, 7 figures, all the way to 8. Everything that I've ever learned, everything I've ever learned from millionaire mentors, billionaire mentors, and everything I learned from being homeless, and everything that got me into the top 1%, I have placed inside of a book. To date, it is the longest book that I've ever written, the most best book that I've ever written, And that book is called The Richest Man and the Trash Can, and I'm offering it to you today for free. This book is going to show you how to become wealthy into the top 1% and leave the middle class. This book is going to give you a step-by-step plan if you're 30 years old, all the way to 70 years old, how to get into the top 1%. If you're a teenager, how to get to the top 1%. If you're a millennial, how to get to the top 1%. It's going to teach you how to make 6 figures immediately, teach you how to get to $1 million immediately, and all that good stuff. Plus, I'm going to give you the 36 objective laws of leaving the middle class. Plus, I'm going to give you every last one of my secrets that have made me rich. You have to understand that leaving the middle class is the most important fight that you're going to have in your life. To be honest with you, and you can kind of relate to this, it almost takes $450,000 a year just to be broke in America. And that's just in America. If you don't leave the middle class, which is actually an illusion, then you are going to have a really hard time. Think about it for a second. Most of you going to be watching this are going to be baby boomers, and you've been sold a bad check. They lied to you. Your retirement was not enough for you to live comfortable, and I'm going to give you this book for free so you can figure out how to triple your retirement and then quadruple your retirement, and then, as Grant Cardone would say, 10x your retirement so you can live the life that's worthy of you. I want you to remember that leaving the middle class is the most important battle that you could ever face in your entire life, especially for your family. So consider this video, this book, your friendly tap on the shoulder. I want to send you a free copy of this book because I believe that abundance is your birthright. I believe that abundance is freedom, and I believe that this book is right for you. In fact, I believe in that so much that I will send you the book for free. All you have to do is cover the cost of shipping. I'll eat the cost, I'll take the loss, and all you have to do is get the book and dominate your reality right now and apply the principles so you can be the best person for your life that is yours. Fill out the form sitting right there to the right. Go ahead, dominate your reality. I can't wait to send you my book. I can't wait to meet you. I can't wait to have you as someone that's been on the journey with me. Antonio T. Smith Jr., you can plan better. You can dominate.